I can't sleep. This is day 2 of not being able to sleep. I have so many questions and so much anxiety about my new diagnosis. If you haven't seen the videos, I was diagnosed with not only having bipolar disorder, but yesterday I was diagnosed as also having borderline personality disorder. And I don't understand it well enough to kind of paraphrase what it is just yet. It's interesting though, because I've been doing research on it for a little while now, but I never really, I guess, delve into it. I was curious because, just because I know a lot of people that have it, and I always empathized, but I didn't feel there's a lot of the symptoms that I had. So when they said borderline personality disorder, I looked at the doctor and I was like, well, what about this symptom? What about that symptom? What about this? What about that? And she was able to point out how those things are actually manifesting in me, and they're just not typical cases, I guess, you know, what you think of. It's like that stereotypical, when you think of bipolar disorder, you think 1 minute they can be happy and then 1 minute they can be really mad. That's not really how bipolar disorder works, but that's what people know it as. And it's the same thing with BPD. Like, I knew it as, you know, a certain stereotype, if you will, and I didn't think of it personally. I'm just up. I have 1,000 questions. My anxiety has been through the roof just because I ordered 2 books on borderline personality disorder to help me start to understand, and they're not going to be until tomorrow. I ordered them on Amazon Prime as soon as they can get here, but they can't get here any faster. So I've been anxious of just reading stuff online, but that can get to be scary, and it's just crazy, and it's just weird to know that now I have this whole thing to figure out. But it's also comforting because the more I read about it, the more I realized I've been struggling quite a bit. I've been dealing with bipolar disorder, but I've been dealing with BPD, and I didn't know this is what I've been fighting, just like when I was fighting bipolar disorder for 30 years and I didn't realize it. I've been fighting with BPD as well, and I'm a bit more relieved because I am going to be able to tackle this head on and relax and have some downtime. I'm paranoid. I have paranoia. I have interpersonal relationship issues. I have a lot of symptoms that were obvious, but here's the kicker. So the doctor said the reason that it's probably taken so long to catch is because when I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, they stuck me in DBT therapy. DBT therapy was specifically designed for borderline personality disorder, so I got the therapy for borderline personality disorder day 1 of my bipolar diagnosis, and I took DBT very seriously, and I've been applying it to my life ever since, and that's where I get all my management skills from. Well, that's the thing, is I've been battling BPD without realizing it, and the bipolar disorder at the same time. It's so weird. I'm trying to figure out where the line of one disorder is and the line of where the other one, where it ends. I know bipolar disorder well, but BPD is very, very interesting. And I'm just now starting to not only learn the symptoms, but learn how the symptoms have played out in me. One of the things that's the biggest deal is there's a lacking sense of an anchor of who you are. And I've said in so many of my videos, I feel like I'm still discovering who I am since being diagnosed and getting my life back on track. And that kind of makes more sense now because I have a strong sense of self, but I do continuously feel like I don't know who I am. my only thing is I don't acclimate to people. I know that can be a trait, and I always considered that a trait with it. I assumed from what I had read is BPD people tend to acclimate to others. I don't acclimate to people, but I just kind of live in identity limbo is the only way to put it. I do have a sense of self in some things, but like I just don't have an anchor as to who I am, which is weird to admit because I have such a strong personality, but I don't know how those two can coexist, but they do. I wish I could sleep. I'm probably not going to get much sleep tonight. I got 2 hours of sleep last night. Hopefully I'll get more tonight, but I doubt it. I just have too many questions. There's too much I want to know.